Welcome to Keeping It Real 603 Stories,
the podcast that pulls back the curtain on the people shaping the heart of the 603.
Each month, we sit down with local business owners, creators, and change makers right here in the heart of the 603.
from Main Street to the Merrimack River,
The Seacoast and the Lakes region,
We explore the real stories,
the hustle,
the heart,
the setbacks,
and the breakthroughs that make this community thrive.
no filters.
no fluff.
Just honest conversations with the folks who keep our communities moving forward.
So grab a cup of coffee from your favorite local spot.
Settle in.
And let's keep it real.
And we are really happy and excited to have welcomed a dear friend of ours, Jenn Corriveau, who I think many people probably know or would recognize. But for those of you who don't, she is what I would call an absolute angel on earth. She's an entrepreneur. She is a friend. She's a listener. And she's just an all-around badass. So Jenn, we're happy to have you here.
Thank
Welcome.
you for that amazing introduction. Great to be here. Super grateful to be here with you guys.
I'm glad you found us. So I'm Shannon, and I want to take a second just to introduce Abby, who wasn't here with us last time. This is Abby Dow. She's one of our team members here at Real 603. Hi, Abby.
Hello, I am
Welcome.
Abby, the newest member of Real 603. I'm so new to real estate, but very excited to be a part of the team. And Jenn was the very first person I thought of when we came up with this concept for this podcast.
Yeah.
There was no other person, and I said it immediately to you, and you said to me, "Oh hell yeah!" But I met you at when we used to do weight loss challenges, and you and Nicole, Dave were all giving us the best advice you could to lose as much weight as we could, and you were at the time working for the Monarchs.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And you were super frustrated. I remember the day you said to me, "I'm not doing this anymore."
Yeah.
And from that day on, you were 100% in at prime time.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the switch was made to integrity, and you were so excited, and the demolition began, and you built like a beautiful spot for people to just be so welcomed, and not just for shakes and not just for wellness, but like just like someone to talk to, somewhere to go. So tell us a little bit about integrity.
Okay, so yeah, we met way back. So Primetime was like the original, which is where, so I started out just working Saturdays. But before I even worked on Saturdays in the club, like behind the bar, we call it the bar. So we call it the club, we call it the bar. And I was doing the weight loss challenges. I would go there after work, and we would host fit camps as well in the warmer times.
Yep.
So we were like hosting these free community workouts, giving people a place to kind of like come and get healthy and change their lifestyle, but also just to like be together. And this was like pre-COVID. So we were like just trying to create camaraderie and support without people feeling like they had to go get a gym membership and that kind of stuff. And we were tying it into the nutrition club so people would come back. They would learn all about like great nutrition and how to fuel their bodies. And again, creating just like a community space. The weight loss challenges were fantastic. At the time, we ran them in 12-week cycles, and there were in-person check-ins. That's something that we still do. We have shrunk it down to about 8-week cycles with a couple weeks off in between. That seems to work better with people's lifestyles now. We're a little bit more on the go than we were back then. And we teach people all about different aspects of nutrition. So they're getting like full guidance. They get meal plans. They get check-ins. They can come ask questions. It's a safe place. And so people are still to this day loving that. And it's one of my favorite things to do because we're all back together. Because during COVID, everything went virtual. And I'm super grateful for the technology that allowed us to just kind of carry on through that time. But man, there's nothing like sitting around with your people
Hanging.
People.
And it was like almost overnight. I just decided like I'm done with corporate America. I just want to move, into this full time, do my own thing, and just see if I can make this work. And I think when you just decide and that's when you make it happen.
So I suppose we can kind of jump in. And one of the reasons that we have you here is because we view you as a change maker in our community, someone who I think you're involved in so many ways outside of just your business. And I'm constantly learning more about you every single day, obviously, like I just did this morning. But one of the things that I think obviously we'd want to get to is just really kind of going back. And if you're thinking about your sort of journey to being a business owner, what would you say was like the seed that maybe started it all for you?
Well, a lot of people probably don't know this, but my dad was a business owner for the majority of my childhood. And I think that when I look back on my life, that's probably where it truly all started, because I got to watch him just be in charge. And I remember always telling my parents, like, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up. I kind of changed my mind like most kids do a bunch of times, but I knew I wanted to be the boss. I know you have one of those.
Yes.
So I think from a young age, I always thought, like, I saw a big vision for, you know, being in charge and like being kind of like the leader of something, but I didn't always know how that was going to look. But I ended up going to school for business and jumping into corporate America after college. And so my entrepreneurial spirit was a little bit backseat at that point in time, but it all comes full circle. So
nice. So when you say you jumped into corporate America, what did that look like for you?
I had a business degree, like I said, so I worked in corporate finance and operations for like a big finance firm down in Philadelphia. I was there for about a year, and I came screaming back. I was really excited to get back home to New England and be back home in New Hampshire. It was a great learning experience for me to be down there, but I knew, like, in my heart of hearts that this is where I wanted to always be and put down roots. So I'm here, and I'm super grateful to be back. But it was just the most natural kind of step after business school was to step into a corporate role. And I learned a lot about myself and a lot about what I didn't want out of life in that time. And so ended up transferring back up here with that particular job, and then taking a couple of other corporate jobs, you know, along the way after that. And it wasn't until I had a boss tell me that I couldn't take time off to take care of my mom when she was diagnosed with cancer. My earned time off, mind you,
Right.
that I really was like, this working for somebody else thing really isn't working for me. I've got to figure out what's next for me. And thankfully I had started a side hustle business that was aligned with where my business is now. And I dove, 2 feet first into that. And the rest is kind of history.
Good for you. So tell us a little bit about that side hustle that you had going.
Yeah, so I'm a health and wellness coach. That's what I was doing. I was helping people get amazing health and wellness results from home, working from my phone and off times. And then I was working out of my nutrition club. That's what we call it, is a nutrition club, a nutrition hub. It's like a healthy cafe. Yeah. And I was working out of there on Saturdays. So that was like my second job, was to be there. And I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the energy that came from being in that space. And I felt like it served me more than it served our community at the time. We didn't have, we weren't posting huge numbers in terms of the number of customers that were coming in. But for me, it was a place where I could go and just be myself and really pour into something that was important to me. Whereas I was just like crunching numbers and making money for my boss when I was at work during the week. Sure. And I felt very disaligned from that. So when the opportunity presented itself to make my exit and not stay in corporate, I said, I just got to go for it. I got to try this for a year. I gave myself a year to put my head down and see what I can make happen. Sure. And then I was like, if I can't do it, then at least I can go back out into the job world and figure it out. But I deep down there was really I burned the ships. I wasn't going back. Right. So, that's how I ended up at my shop.
I always think about how, and we don't have to use this if you don't want to, but think about how, in life, it's so interesting because when we're younger, we're always taught to, that you're going to have one path, right? That when you're in high school, you have to have your eyes set on one career or whatever. And now I'm about to turn 46, right? And how I'm thinking, if I look back, I've had all of these zigzags, right? And I've worn all of these different hats. And I have a hat now, obviously, as a realtor, as a mom, all of these things, and how it's okay, right, to not really know your clear course or path. And it's okay to diverge this way and take some lessons from doing that corporate gig that you were doing. Because if anything, it just told you what you really don't want to do and gave you clarity on where you should be and what you should be doing, right, and what feels right. Exactly. And kind of what you're meant to do, really.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think our parents, too, our parents and grandparents were in a world that's very different than ours when it comes to the workforce, and having a job for 30, 40 plus years and being at the same place was normal.
Yeah.
And that consistency is just, it's not the same now. People are not staying in the same place. The loyalty is not, it's not on either side, really. You know, a lot of people aren't staying, but a lot of companies aren't keeping people either for that amount of time. So there's been a big shift, I think, like socially in our world. Yeah. And so to just kind of embrace that and know that you don't have to know what you want to do when you're in high school. You really don't even need to know what you want to do in college, but find something that you enjoy studying or go into the trades and just know that there's always like a pivot point and you're not stuck in
one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Find what lights
life
your
is
fire.
Really more enjoyable when you have your hands in things that light your fire.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Right. So when did you know, I guess, after you had made that pivot, when did you know that this was something that was going to stick and take off?
So I went full-time in the nutrition club, which was called Primetime Wellness at the time.
Yep.
Somebody else owned it, my upline, Dave.
Right.
Him and his wife owned it. And that is where, like, I was introduced to the business and the concept and to the community, really.
Sure.
I grew up here. I was raised here. I went to high school here. Concord will be forever a big part of my heart, no matter where I end up in the world, but it'll probably be in New Hampshire. So, but I knew it was going to be a forever thing for me, like that it was really for me when I dove in with 2 feet after leaving my last real job. We call it a job because it's like, it's just different when you work for yourself. It's still work, but it's just not the same.
Right.
And I dove in and I just took over and Dave let me run. He was like, whatever you want to do, like, I'm going to take a back seat, but like, you're in charge.
That's
so
awesome.
Figure it out. And it really was helpful for me to feel like I had ownership over something, but I was building that whole first year. I was stashing away money to create like an opportunity for myself so that when at the end of that year, my goal was to purchase a space or open a space of my own.
That's awesome.
It just so happened that the cards fell. Yep. They were looking to step into more of a retirement role. They're still involved in the business, but they wanted to step away from having a physical location. They were going to close Primetime when I opened my spot. And the stars aligned. Commercial real estate was in a weird place at the time. And
why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I was like, it's already here.
Right.
Like, why don't we just keep building on what we have? And then eventually when the timing is right, we'll expand out and go somewhere else that better suits our needs. And
Remix.
Yeah,
I love Remix.
I bought the business from Kim and Dave. I changed the name to Integrity Nutrition, which I just felt like really spoke more to what we were doing there, what we were all about, and something that just felt more a little bit more like me. Primetime Wellness. There was kind of like a lot of rules and regulations about how we could name our little nutrition spots at the time. It fit the rules. A lot of people thought we were like a fitness center. So they would call us and our windows used to be covered with like these big stickers so you could see out but you couldn't see in. It was a little funky, but just kind of like one day the stickers were gone. There was a big sign in the window. I had called Abby. She was like my girl, right? So I was like, hey, I need you to help me rebrand. Like, here's my new name. And she was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And so she helped me develop my logo. And so like the logo that you see and know, like that is Abby's doing. Like we put our minds together on it. But if it wasn't for you, she's been like a really integral part of me kind of launching into integrity and beyond. Like she's been really involved in a lot of the stuff that we've been doing for our community and just like to grow our brand and be recognizable to people. You know, I'm definitely no marketing expert, so I kind of give it all to Abby. She really has helped me.
Oh gosh.
Much.
You're such a great marketer. You don't even know it.
So let's go into that a little bit. So as you were growing, you expanded a little bit to a second location. Yeah.
So we actually like to rewind a little. When we rebranded as Integrity, we before we didn't have as big of a menu or as many offerings. We didn't have, there was never a Primetime logo. We didn't have a logo. We didn't ever have logos on our cups. So people would leave with these plain unbranded cups. And that was my first move. I was like, they need to know us. But also 17 days after I bought the business, the world shut down for COVID. So it was a quick turnaround.
Right.
So we just jumped on that and used that time to renovate the space and try to make it a little bit more welcoming. And it was just like a labor of love. We would go and serve the community curbside from 6 to 3
gosh, I remember this
every day. Yep. And then after that, my dad would go home from his job, have dinner with my mom, and come back to the club, and we would renovate until like 11 o'clock at night, because every night it had to be put back into like a functioning restaurant, essentially. So it was kind of a slow move, and we just were hanging on. We were like, it's just a few more days of this COVID thing, and then we're going to be set free.
Another month.
And so fast forward 18 months after that, roughly, I opened a second location in Laconia, New Hampshire, right in the heart of downtown. And that was a whirlwind. Yeah. For sure. Just to wrap it all up into one world. It was a whirlwind of an adventure, but absolutely no regrets. Lots and lots of lessons learned in that time in that space. And it definitely served me so well. But I'm back down to just the one here in Concord, and super grateful because I'm able to really pour my whole heart and soul into it, which is what I always wanted to do. Yeah. It's like trying to be in two places at once to watch your kids play sports, and you're like, I can't physically do that. Like, I cannot be there for both of them at the same time.
Right. I was forever in awe of you, thinking, how does she do all of this, and how can you be managing and having one location here and one location here, both so successful, both so busy, and it felt like you were present in both places all the time.
Thank you.
Oftentimes would think, does she even sleep?
I didn't feel like it during that time in my life, frankly. I definitely put a lot of the self-care. Yeah. And I'm not saying like going to get a pedicure or any of that stuff. I mean like sleeping and taking care of myself. A lot of that stuff took a back burner. And I think that's definitely a balance thing that every entrepreneur kind of faces and has to work through. I'm a big advocate of making sure we're prioritizing ourselves, because I think we show up better when we do that. So
you're incredibly disciplined.
Forcing ourselves to be so stretched thin that we're neglecting the things that are truly important, because we want to be able to show up for our families and be around for a long time. So I had a couple years where I was like on team no sleep and definitely grinding, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to like make sure you keep it mentally like temporary, knowing that there's like an end date, and not allowing it to completely run your life, because it will if you let it.
So definitely whenever you enter your club, it's very present that you are doing a lot for the community, and you make sure you put it out there for on all social media platforms, everything that you're doing, and weekly what you could do to help your community, like we coming to see you. So what's that look like? What's going on there?
So we try to just do as much as we can to support our people, like both within Concord and things that we're passionate about, but also what are they passionate about. So we've got, if you at any point in time you pop into Integrity, we now have what we call our community board, little play on words, and just you can kind of find out like all the things that are happening. If you wanted to leave a flyer, or you're hosting an educational course like that, we would want to put that out there for people, if there's a fundraiser, whatever it might be. We try to make sure that that's up there for people to share what they're excited about, that are people that are in our customers. And then we do have an overflowing board of business cards, because people are coming in like, you guys know, when you've been in enough to see, like, people will come in and they will just tell us everything, or they ask us stuff. So we're a lot of times we're like the first to find out, like, he bought the ring, or that they got engaged, or that they're pregnant, or whatever the case might be. Like, we get to see the wedding dress first, and I love that. But with that comes like a responsibility to then like provide back for people. They trust us to be kind of like a sounding board, or hey, I really need somebody to mow my mom's lawn, or I need a real estate agent, or whatever the case might be. Like, we try to create a space where people can come and just like find the stuff, or find the people, and make the connections. So a lot of times, like, we've made connections for people in that way, but we've also like been a place where people have come back and like walked in and seen someone that they haven't seen in 40 years that they graduated high school with, and I'm like, what? This is crazy. Like, I just love, and it's crazy. Life is short, and it's a small world, and getting smaller. I feel like the older I get, like every single day, the connections that I have, I realize are even more interconnected than I ever imagined was possible. Definitely. And I love that about our state. I love that about our town, that I can I can't really go anywhere without finding somebody that I know.
Sure.
And you know that, especially and up north, it's the same way. I actually live in Laconia now, which is where I opened my second store. Yep. But my family still lives here. My dad built our house like when I was 3, and they are still there. Yeah. And they'll be there forever, would be my guess. But it's a small world, and so just being able to be connected to the things that are important to our people because they're like our family. So, and with that, I am doing a big, if you ever come into the club, you'll see us doing lots of fundraisers, both for just one-off things. So we love to give gift cards to support folks that are doing various things in the community. We always try to be a yes. Anything that we can do to help, even something small, like we know can go so far in terms of creating awareness or helping raise money or whatever that might be. So I had a friend come to me back in 2021 and she was running for Best Buddies New Hampshire Champion of the Year. And I was like, I don't know what any of this is. And she's like, do you think you could do something to help me raise money? And I said, yeah, let's put our heads together. We came up with a shake. Yep. We posted about it, a blurb like, what is Best Buddies? Here's the shake. Yep. It's only going to be for this short amount of time, and $1 from every single time we make the shake, we'll donate $1 to Kelly's Best Buddies campaign. Sure. So that's how it all started. Kelly then nominated my friend Missy to run as champion of her legacy person the following year. So we did it again for Missy. Sure. And then Missy nominated me. So in 2023, I got to run for champion of the year, and we ran our Best Buddies shake, and we started inventing like a specialty tea every month, which we also raise money for our Herbalife Family Foundation, which we call it CASA. Yep. A lot of people get confused with like the court-appointed advocates, but a little bit different. Our CASAs are a safe space for children in underprivileged communities to go after school. They have access to free sports. They have access to great nutrition, both there and to take home, which a lot of them don't have access to. We outfit them with backpacks and warm coats and all that stuff. So that's a passion project of mine, and we've been raising money for our local CASA, which is down in Worcester, Massachusetts. Since 2020. Wow. And super want to just toot Concord's horn, because Integrity has been the #1 fundraiser for 6 years running for our local CASA.
You're kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. And our local CASA in Worcester is the only one in New England, but New England is the #1 CASA fundraiser in all of North America. So there's these CASAs all over different cities and stuff throughout the world, but we have been the #1 fundraiser out of our little Worcester friendly house for a long time coming in North America. So Integrity has played a huge role in that, and I'm super proud to just facilitate. That has really nothing to do with me. I believe that people want to give, and you just have to give them an opportunity to step up and do it, because a lot of times people just don't even know where they want to give. But if they find out we love to go see the girls at Integrity, and we love what they're into and what they're doing, and they see how passionate we are about helping the kids in the CASA or helping create awareness and facilitate funds for Best Buddies, they get excited about those things. And that's what it's all about. I can't alone. I might be able to donate just a small percentage of what we've been able to generate by allowing other people to just step into what we're already doing. Right. It doesn't, it might be a little bit more back end work for me to do the social media and the different digital marketing and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, that's just a small amount of my time that can create such a big impact. And I didn't really even have to lift a finger. I'm just creating it. I'm just opening the door for people to walk in and be a part of something that's bigger than us. So Best Buddies is amazing. It's all centered around inclusion. Right. We're focused on leadership and inclusion, both for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities and without. So we're trying to create community. There's lots of events that happen. We're working towards creating a jobs program here in New Hampshire that will help facilitate finding employers who want to employ folks with IDD and helping the folks with IDD with a work buddy go work in something that's meaningful and not just these little, part-time, some people will find value in going to do something menial, right? But then there's other people who are looking for something a little bit more
fulfilling
or who have a skill set, because everybody's different, right? Like we all bring something different to the table, and the same, like individuals who have IDD are in the same boat. Like everyone has a different skill set, everyone has a different passion, and to be able to create opportunities within different career fields for them to build is definitely something that I've like become passionate about over the years. So I love Best Buddies. I love what they're doing. It's a small but mighty crew of employees that make this happen for these folks, and it's a global movement.
Definitely.
But it's every state has their own
charter.
Chapter or whatever you want to call it. So in 2023, I got nominated to run for Champion of the Year, which is usually happens in the fall, and they have it commences at this big gala, which you came to the gala.
Oh, it's one of the most magnificent things I ever saw.
Been to. It's so
cool.
fun.
It's
such a great
just,
event.
It will change your life. Like if you've
completely.
never been to a gala, you have got to go.
It's awesome.
And we just hit the ground running. I met my buddy James, and he was my mission partner, and we just clicked. And I knew the first time I met him and his mom Tracy that they were going to be my family for life. I always tell Tracy, I'm like, you're stuck with me, girl. Like, you guys are so stuck with me. And we had so much fun fundraising. Yeah. We just tried to, wrap the club community. I had Remix at the time, so we used that space was much bigger.
Sure.
So we hosted a lot of events inside the nutrition club because we had the space to support it, which was really cool because I have vision for that for us in Concord. I'm sure we've kind of talked about like next steps and what's coming, but for me, like creating more space to get more community inside. Our space is really small, and you both have seen my other space and know like, okay,
the vibe,
just
what it can do,
what it could be if we just had more space. Like we're already doing so much. Like imagine the possibilities if we just have like a little bit more space to do that. That's more conducive to being able to give more people in the doors and support people in different ways. So yeah, we're really excited. James and I ended up running in 2023 against 11 other candidates, and we became champions of the year.
It's amazing.
Grand champions, as I think they called us. We got the crowns and all. I love it because he'll like randomly show up to like a dinner of ours and he'll be like wearing his crown. And I'm like, I love you. You are amazing. I just like, yes, channel the king energy, please. So we had so much fun fundraising and becoming friends through that whole process. And we have maintained a wonderful relationship and a wonderful friendship throughout the last few years. And he asked me, he's like, can we run it back one more time? And I was like, all right, dude, let's do it.
Again,
so we're doing it again. So we are running again in 2026, and we are so excited. So you'll see we raised money all of the last 2 years as well, even though we were not running, and donated it to Best Buddies because we always attend the gala anyways, and we love to donate. So I actually was asked in 2024 to join the advisory board.
Great.
So I'm on the board for Best Buddies for New Hampshire, and it's just been an honor to be able to kind of contribute in that way. So
if there was a way that we as a community could support you, what can we do?
All right. So if you want to help J Squared, as we call ourselves, because James and Jen, J Dog, as he likes to be called. If you want to help J2, you can come into the club. We have a special shake on the menu all year long. It's called our Best Buddies M&M cookie. And then we have a specialty tea, energy tea, clean energy tea, like you see here. That runs every month. It switches, so it's something new and exciting. If I took off the M&M cookie, I think a riot would break out. People love that.
My heart would be broken.
So the cookie is here to stay. But $1 from every one of our Best Buddies M&M cookies and our Best Buddies specialty teas will go directly towards our Best Buddies campaign when it like officially launches in the fall. But we go big or go home here. So if you are feeling moved to attend the gala, if you've never been, you can purchase tickets to the event, and that will also help towards our campaign. So every person that buys a ticket to the gala or buys a table or donates a gift card or an item or something like that, there's so many different ways that you can help us campaign and coming out to support the different fundraising events that we'll have as we kind of move forward in the year. So we are starting with t-shirts, which Abby has so generously been a part of for 3 years now. And she helps us, design them, get them printed, like the whole thing. So we have our custom J squared shirts. You can get those. And then represent all year long. So we're starting with that just so folks can like show up at the events and we can all be in the same color and just, community. It's all about being inclusive and creating community, both within the shop and outside of the shop. So we're really excited. We've got a lot of ideas cooking this year for fun fundraising events. So stay tuned.
Okay.
And
so when is the gala?
The gala is in November. It's usually mid-November. I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but it is on the calendar. So if you want to go, you can you can always send me a message or pop in the shop and say, hey, make sure you save me a seat at your table. And as soon as they launch tickets, I'll be sending you a message.
Awesome. Well, it's a good excuse to get dressed up.
Yes.
100%. And you're bound to see people there.
So a lot of fun.
Such a great
There's
space.
so many people there. Yeah.
And it's a good dance party.
It is. There's
really
always a good party. It just
fun.
makes it'll absolutely melt your heart.
Yeah.
And,
It's
and
awesome.
you will have so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like the most rewarding experience.
So one more.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? If you look ahead down the pike, 3-5 years, what's next?
So hopefully sooner than 3 years, but I would, like I said, I would love to expand upon our space.
Yep. We can help you with that.
We can. Oh my gosh, you don't say. So that's next. I felt really called to, now that I've kind of come out of the last couple years of my life, have been a roller coaster, and everything's kind of smooth sailing right now. And I was looking to expand and move the shop, still in Concord, but to a new location that better suited us. And before kind of my diagnosis and all of that, and it wasn't the right timing, obviously.
Yeah.
No problem. So we were like, let's just stay where we are and try to be bursting at the seams. And I think we are. I think we're really starting to stretch the four walls that we're in. And certainly my hopes and dreams for Integrity and for Concord are well outside of those four walls.
Sure.
So I would love to see a larger space. I would love to see us, create an opportunity to really host more of the community within our space. So like I said, it's a little small. It feels a little tight, but I'd love to get back to having like weight loss challenges that are like able to support more people being there.
Yeah.
Indoor fit camps so that we don't have to stop when it's cold and -4 like it's going to be
Right.
in a few days.
Hosting events.
Hosting events for Best Buddies, hosting events for, if you guys said, hey, can we come use your space? We want to do like a mixer. Yeah. And I would be like, absolutely. I love to do it. What day? Like I want to just be able to say yes to things and give opportunities to people that we care about and we want to support in the community that may not be able to like rent a space, but they could just come and we could be that space for them.
Yeah. I love that.
I would love to do that. So I've got big vision. I definitely want to see it, our impact expand. And I think that the next move is just making sure that we find the space to do that. And everyone, like, the few people that I've talked to about it are like, well, where will you go? And I was like, oh, no, we'll be in Concord. Don't worry. Like, we are not going anywhere. But we're just looking to kind of stretch our wings a little bit and see where we can take this thing.
I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So Jen, you did talk about making your journey back here to kind of, I guess, return to your roots. So what was it about New Hampshire that drew you here and what keeps you here?
For me, it just feels like home. And I know that sounds like super cliche, but I get it a lot from people out of state. So we have a lot of people that come into the store that come through town on their way to various parts of our beautiful state. And they all say the same thing, and I could not agree more. And it's like, wow, you guys really have everything here, and there's something special about this place. And
so true.
I don't know that any of us could probably even put our fingers on it. Like we've all been here for a very long time, each of us in our own way, and like I don't know exactly what it is, but we just have it.
Yeah, that's true.
And another thing that I took for granted and didn't really realize that we have here that a lot of other places in the country don't have. So I did move. I went to school in Western Massachusetts, and I moved to Philadelphia after that, and then came screeching back here on 2 wheels as fast as humanly possible. I realized very quickly that I was like not a city girl. Yeah. But I love that we can get to the city. We can get to the ocean. We can get to the lakes. And the mountains in an hour and a half max. And you just cannot do that other places. I remember when I was a senior in high school, I went on a trip I was a cheerleader, a swimmer, like all these different things. And I had the honor of cheering in the Orange Bowl my senior year, which was just a really cool opportunity. Wild. And when I was there, I met people from all over the country. Sure. And I remember the gals that were in kind of like my hotel wing, they were from Texas, but they were from northern Texas, so they had never been to the ocean.
Sure.
And we were in Miami, Florida, so we went to the ocean.
Wow.
And I mean, they were crying, and I was like, Mom, why are they crying about the ocean? And I just remember her being like, well, honey, like not everyone gets to go to the ocean.
Right.
And it struck me like, wow, that's weird. But, you know, we are just so blessed to have access to everything. I mean, whether you are into hiking or just like being out in the woods or being at the lake and boating and whatever, we just have access to all of it at our fingertips. And that is nowhere else.
No.
I really don't believe you can get that anywhere else.
So true. That's so true. I'll tell people that all the time. Like when for people who are moving here from out of state, like once you're here and you realize like literally we have it all. Like to this day, I've lived here my whole life and I still pinch myself.
Yeah.
I just think we are so lucky. Like I can look at those mountains, right? And I've seen the same view of these mountains my whole life and it will never get old. We're just so blessed. We're so fortunate.
My whole camera roll is like sunrises and sunsets. My friends like tease me all the time and I'm like, they're all just so beautiful. Like I'm so in awe of like the creation that we get to live in every single day.
It's the truth.
And it's our home. My favorite thing to say when I'm like driving on a new back road or something is like, oh my gosh, is this home? Like, we get to call this place home? This is crazy.
I know. Take it for granted. And just
this is like where people can't wait to like escape to and come visit and experience for just like their hope is to experience it for like a moment or a week at a time, and we get to wake up to it every day.
Every day.
Yep. So lucky.
Yeah, I know it's hard not to take it for granted, but we're so fortunate. So
for sure.
If you could go back and have a visit with yourself 10 years ago, what kind of wisdom would you be sharing with yourself from 10 years ago? What have you learned since then?
Well, a lot, like so much. But I think that the number one thing is don't be afraid to just wing it and try and to do it scared. And I also think it's really important to remind Jen 10 years ago that boundaries are important. Boundaries are a form of love for yourself and others. The people that you love need your boundaries too, as much as you do. And no is a complete sentence. And that's one that I'm still working on. But I think those are all really important things in terms of creating, you know, a successful business, but also a successful personal life and creating balance for yourself so that you get to enjoy all of the things, like all the fruits of your labor. And what good is it to hustle 24/7, 365 if you haven't had a chance to take a breath to actually enjoy what you've created?
So true.
And to our point, in a place as beautiful as this, you know, like to be here and call this place home and then not even allow ourselves the time and space to like breathe it all in and enjoy it, like that's a shame. So let's not live in that space, because it's easy. It, especially 10 years ago, Jen, it was easy for me to be like, oh, I'm young, it's all this, but life has taught me in those 10 years also that it's precious and it can change in the blink of an eye. So
for sure. Well, I will say it has been so amazing to watch you evolve.
Thank you.
Over the years, and I'm just in awe of you and everything that you do. And you know, you take on challenges with your head high, and you are one strong woman.
Thank
and
you.
It's inspiring. Yeah, and I feel like we're lucky to know you.
Well, I feel lucky to know you.
Agreed.
So, thank
Super
you.
grateful to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Keeping It Real, 603 Stories. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to share it with someone who loves the 603 as much as we do.
Follow along for more behind-the-scenes stories from the Granite State's boldest thinkers and doers.
Until next time, stay inspired, stay grounded, and most of all, keep it real.